and welcome to our Culture magazine on I-24 News, where we bring you the best from the world of entertainment and art. Today on our show, we host the star of a stirring film about sex among teenagers. We'll see the hidden chocolate makers of Tel Aviv. And an Egyptian rapper vents out his angst in a new song. But let's begin with some cultural headlines. Pete Seeger, the iconic singer-songwriter and social activist who spearheaded an American folk revival, died on Monday at age 94. Seeger was an avid advocate for peace and civil rights. He often sang at labor rallies, college auditoriums, and folk festivals, but also performed at an inaugural concert for Barack Obama. He played a major role in the folk music renaissance that began in the late 1950s, and also took part in creating the soundtrack of the 1960s with such songs as We Shall Overcome, Where Have All the Flowers Gone, and Turn, Turn, Turn. Bruce Springsteen, who performed at an all-star concert for Seeger's 90th birthday, called him a living archive of America's music and conscience, a testament to the power of song and culture to nudge history along. Seeger inspired generations of folk singers and musicians, including Bob Dylan, the Kingston Trio, and Joan Baez, who once said, "We all owe our careers to Pete Seeger." The Sundance Film Festival wrapped up on Monday, and the big winner is the film Whiplash, the drama about a young jazz drummer played by Miles Teller and his drill sergeant-like music teacher portrayed by J.K. Simmons snatched both the Grand Jury Prize for Drama and the Audience Award. Israeli documentary The Green Prince about Hassan Youssef, the son of a Hamas leader who spent a decade as Israel's top informer in the West Bank, won the Audience Favorite Award. The film is based on Youssef's autobiography and tells of his transformation from a Hamas fighter to Israeli spy to an asylum seeker in the U.S. The Grand Jury Prize for U.S. documentary went to Rich Hill, which chronicles the chaotic lives of three boys living in a poor Midwestern town. The World Cinema Prizes were awarded to Return to Homs, Talal Derki's documentary about the effects of the civil war in Syria, and To Kill a Man, a revenge thriller from Chilean director Alejandro Almandres. Look out for all these films to make headlines in the coming year. The film 6 Acts, directed by Jonathan Gurfinkel, tells the story of Gilly, a teenage girl who desperately tries to fit in with the cool crowd by having random, emotionless sex with the popular rich guys. The movie has stirred a discussion about sexual exploitation among teenagers and the length to which they'll go just to be popular. It was screened in the Israeli Knesset, but has been banned from screening in high school classes by the Israeli Ministry of Education. Sivan Levy, who plays the film's protagonist, won the Israeli Film Academy Award for her work in the film, and I'm very glad to welcome her to our studio. Hi, Sivan.
Hello.
So this is a very emotion-heavy film, and your role is certainly an interesting and serious one. How did you prepare yourself for this role?
Gilly is a 15-year-old girl. I'm 26. And she comes to a new school,
right,
where she needs to find her place. But the problem is that she doesn't have any place at home. She's not loved. She doesn't have anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So firstly, I understand very quickly that everyone I know has this thing,
right,
this fragile thing, and all I needed to do is to remove my layers off of me. I didn't need to search it outside or anything. So
now, from what you know about teenagers these days, I mean, there is a bit of an age gap there, but you're closer than I am, so I'll ask you. How common is this problem?
This story is based on true stories. Our film, according to 10 different true stories.
Oh, so it's made up of different stories, like
Yes.
brought into one. Okay.
Yes. And unfortunately, this story happened everywhere in every situation. It's just the use of power for bad. And
now, as we said, there's quite a discussion going on in Israel about this film, whether it should be screened in schools, whether it shouldn't be screened in schools. Where do you stand on the matter?
I think the first to see this film is the educators, the parents, the professors, and then they need to teach the children from kindergarten, not from school. We need to teach the children to see the person in front of us and to appreciate him or her. Doesn't matter if it's him or her.
Right.
And
that's interesting. So you actually agree that there is a risk.
there is a risk.
Okay. You think that guided viewing is the way to go?
Absolutely, yeah.
I see.
I think that it's very important to show this film, but with preparation before and with a conversation after of a professional.
Right. Now, when you approached this film, did you hope to have that it'll have some social impact beyond just telling this small story, that it will raise this discussion?
We couldn't imagine that it will do such good, but of course we hoped. And yeah, I felt really lucky to be a part of this film.
Right. What do you feel about Gili, about your character?
I'm in love with her, of course. I love her. She's so pure, and she deals with this thing that we take for granted every day.
Right.
We can be loved from our parents or our lover or friends, but she needs to fight for it all the time.
Last question. This is a heavy film. Did you have any fun making it?
Yeah, of course.
All right. Thank you so much, Sivan.
Thank you so much.
Some of Tel Aviv's best boutique pastry and chocolate makers prefer to operate underground and out of sight. Their products are handmade with love, and the taste reflects it. Michal Divon went behind the scenes for a taste.
The Omarim Chocolatier and Liati's Bakery both started as a home-based hobby and still don't have an address for purchasing purposes. Apart from a website and phone number, both chocolate lovers have been working undercover and waiting for the right moment to surprise and conquer our sweet tooth.
It all happened like a fairy tale. My partner, he got a heart attack. A friend of us just told us about how chocolate and cocoa is very healthy for our body and how it can recover the body and help the body.
Liati and her husband soon opened a bakery together at home. When demand exceeded their expectations, they moved the baking to an outside location and hired a staff.
I was working as a producer in the radio for 12 years, and I realized that my passion and my love is with sweets.
Their bakery is not the only underground artisanal food operation in Tel Aviv. In the city's quaint Neve Tzedek neighborhood, Omarim Chocolate also operates from the owner's home. Every morning, Talia and Tamir nibble on one of their gourmet chocolate bars, while Tamir makes another batch of raw cocoa bars to be wrapped and shipped to the nearest health store. Omarim Chocolate is not your typical chocolatier. It started out as a hobby, and even though it's now a job, the couple has no plans to expand or move anywhere else.
We don't involve other people. We would like to be free, to work on our time, on our rhythm.
However, it was just a few years ago that Talia and Tamir were making chocolate only for friends and family. Today, they distribute their treats to health stores all over Israel. But not every venue is suitable, according to Tali. The chocolate is shy. It needs to be cared for and sold in a loving and intimate environment. Like Omarim, Liati's Bakery is located in the center of Tel Aviv, but is still far from the access of customers. To reach the bakery, you must walk through a small alleyway and down a set of winding stairs located underneath a restaurant on the trendy Rothschild Boulevard. But once inside, you'll find heavenly muffins, giant cakes, a variety of cookies, and a list of baked goods that keeps growing. In some cases, you may not even realize that your coffee shop's morning pastry was actually created in Liati's hidden basement. Liati's Bakery and Omarim Chocolate may not have the exact same ambitions for their businesses, but both want to continue working with their hands, as the secret to their success lies in the passion they feel towards their craft.
It is made with lots of love. I think it's very important, otherwise it will not be this chocolate.
Yum. Now it's time for a few cultural highlights from around the world.
For the last 40 years, Israeli artist Gabi Klazmer has been living in London and is very active in both the local and international art scenes. The Helena Rubinstein Pavilion of the Tel Aviv Museum of Art is hosting an exhibition of his work. Klazmer's show takes over the pavilion's 3 floors. One is dedicated to his paintings and giant installations, the second to his sculpture park, and the third to his video art. You can visit the exhibition Efes until May 2014. Francisco de Zurban was one of the most important painters of the Spanish Baroque. For the first time, an overview of his artistic work, combining pure naturalism and a modern poetic sensitivity, is being presented at the Center for Fine Arts in Belgium. Zurban created works that expressed the new attitudes that led to a cultural revival in Spain in the course of the 16th and 17th centuries. He is known primarily for his religious paintings depicting monks, nuns, martyrs, and still life. The Zurban exhibition runs until Sunday, May 25th. In Glasgow, a retrospective of artist Jack Vetriano. The Kellingrove Gallery hosts the most comprehensive exhibition ever of the Scottish painter, bringing together his most well-known paintings made between 1992 and 2013 on loan from personal collections around the world. Vetriano is very well known in the UK. His painting, The Singing Butler, displayed in the show, has been reproduced over and over on posters, postcards, and greeting cards. Perhaps it's not surprising, then, that the exhibition has already welcomed more than 90,000 visitors. You can see Vetriano's work, if you can get a ticket, until February 23rd.
And now, Tony Grant is in the studio. Hi, Tony.
Hello.
And it's time for our weekly Middle Eastern Cultural Press Review.
Right.
How lovely.
Yes, and where else better to start than Cairo, which is, as always, at the center of so much in Arab culture. And there is an Egyptian rapper by the name of Rami Assam who is capturing some of the revolutionary angst in song. And I think we can maybe take a quick listen at some of his work.
Let's.
ولا دول ولا دول ولا دول مش ماتش عشان اللي يجيب جول ياخد صورتنا ويروح خد مني العهد ومنا الدول ما احناش من دول ولا دول ولا دول ما احناش من دول ولا دول ولا دول ولا دول مش ماتش عشان اللي يجيب جول ياخد صورتنا ويروح.
So I sense that he seems angry about something.
There's some anger issues in there, yes. Basically, the undercurrent of the song is that, you know, people like him and the people of whom he sings, including himself, they don't want to be ruled by either an Islamist party or by the military. Kind of looking for a third way.
Right.
Don't really know which way that is, so exploring it through song.
They kind of tried it, and you know, we all know where it led us. I mean.
Yeah. Well, they've got to keep trying. Basically, is the gist there, and no one knows the answer, and sort of that ambiguity is manifesting itself in Egyptian pop culture.
Right.
You know, got some
well,
big
I guess
colors.
that's already a change in itself. You know, the fact that these sort of things are coming out. And
very open.
Yeah.
And part of the lyrics, they're translated for you with some of those, against those guitar riffs. He's saying, next in turn to be overthrown, the revolutionaries, a rotten, corrupt elite. So, you know, there's also some class issues underpinning a lot of what's happening in Egypt. And again, it's finding its way into song and music. Right. And it's a popular guy.
With some good production value.
Yeah,
so I guess that's a good thing.
Looks pretty cool.
What else you got?
Also looking cool, a lot of photographs in the city of Beirut, which...
very cool city.
A cool city, which which unfortunately has been marred, by a lot of violence in the past, and currently there's an uptick in that. And people tend to forget that it is a huge cultural resource of a city. And there's a show called Photomed, which actually had its genesis in France. Now there's a Beirut, a Lebanese version of the event happening now. 6 different intertwined photo shows, exhibits in Beirut. Both up-and-coming Lebanese photographers, famous photographers and directors such as Costa Gavras, even Clint Eastwood's got some photos in there, all with the Mediterranean theme.
That's certainly an exhibition I wish I could go to.
Yeah, I know. It looks like a fabulous thing. You can check out some of it online.
All right. I will.
Yeah, by all means.
Thank you so much, Tony.
Thank you.
That's it from us for today. I hope you enjoyed watching our show. You can find previous shows just as interesting on our website, i24news.tv. You can also find us on Facebook or Twitter. Let us know what you thought about the show, and you're more than welcome to join us again tomorrow.